Thank you all for joining me today for chair yoga class. Today we're going to use two chairs actually, a block, a strap, and a small ball. Let us begin. So today we're going to start with a little bit of arm work, and it looks like this. I want to cross my arms, turn the palms down, turn the palms inward, lace the fingers, and draw in. And as we drop the elbows, the idea at first is just to simply spread the collarbones. As you broaden across the front of the chest, notice the lengthening through the sides of the neck. And then, if you feel comfortable, sending your hands any amount further forward. And I'll just show you that mine don't go very far, and sometimes they go much less than that. All right? And so there is no forcing, there's no imposing on joint structure, especially. And then we're in the reverse. What you'll notice is that one arm is crossed over the other, so we'll want to switch which is the arm that is on top. And as we come through again, it might feel a little bit different. Drop the collarbones, shoulder blades, and broaden across the rib cage in general. And just pause and feel how this is different. And then sending the arms slightly forward. And you might notice that it's a little different on this side. It most certainly is for me. And it's not just a little different, it's a whole lot different. And so this helps us to warm up from the neck through to the fingers and then some. As we return, we're going to turn the palms up, drop the elbows back, and go through a little bit of breath work in Hasta Mudra, taking the arms around and out, and then around and in. Let's try that again. Inhale, around and out, and around and in. We're going to try some of that again. We're going to cross the arms one over the other, turn the palms to face each other, and this time we're just going to press the hands into each other. We're not going to lace the fingers. And it doesn't matter if you are able to keep the palms flat or just have the fingertips touching. It doesn't matter. Or catty corner the hands in a way that makes it better for your wrist. Remember which arm is on top. This time, palms down, draw the elbows back. Yep. And cross the other arm above and do exactly the same thing. We're just going to press in. And as we press in, we might notice that despite the fact that our hands are pressing in, there is this continued broadening between the shoulder blades without having to overthink it. So quite often we want to notice not just movement patterns, but habits within them, and then be surprised at the things that are always in our favor as opposing sets of actions come into play. All right, palms down and draw the elbows back, keeping your elbows bent this time to 90 degrees. We're going to rotate down any amount and then rotate up, pressing back any amount. Let's do it again. We're going to rotate down any amount. So I'm moving from the shoulders and then rotate up, including pressing somewhat back. We're going to add on. I'm going to bring my hands and elbows together and then open up wide. Let's try that again. Hands and elbows together and open up wide. Now adding that rotation down and up and slightly back. Hands and elbows together. Excellent. Pressing elbows into each other, heels of the hands, tips of the fingers, and then wide. Yep. Rotating down. And this time, as we turn the arms up, we're going to reach up and wide. Exactly. While we're here, we're going to turn the palms in and then back, lift the gaze, and to notice any amount of adding to this extension of the spine, this small back bend that opens the upper rib cage, followed by sending the arms around for this hug. Yep. Elbows back, reaching up, turning the palms back, opening any amount, and then other arm above as we give ourselves a hug, right? So sometimes we create those opposing actions to create balance. All right, moving on. We're going to begin to use our two chairs. So I'm going to make my way back to my chairs. And if you'll notice, I have one chair that I'm sitting in just facing forward with my mat, and I have the other chair turned 45 degrees out beside me. And just know that that chair is optional. If you don't have a second chair at home, it's okay. So if you don't have a second chair at home, you're going to use the chair that you're sitting in, and the idea is to reach over your head. And if you have the second chair, if you'll park your hand there and then slide into it any amount, you're adding a little bit more to that side body stretch. While you're here, think about how your sitting bones are both anchored. So what we are not doing, or we're trying to minimize, is any tipping of the pelvis. Take your time, exhale, rotate, and look it down. Keep both sitting bones anchored, keep both arms active. Notice how your legs are on, and then let's return in the reverse. I want to come back into this side bend, turn my head and look up, reach up as if someone is drawing me, and then come up, holding on to that length. This time, both arms stay at this 180-degree angle, and we're turning any amount. And as we turn, then we'll face that chair because it's set for the most part at a 45-degree angle. And we're going to come into this combination of a fold and a flexion of the spine. So I'm going to set my chair so it's at least one leg on the mat. And what I want to think about is the arm that came across the midline. So I want to give it a chance to travel a little bit further, stretching that elongation side of the body, just adding a little bit more value. Depending on your mobility today and the proximity of the chair, you can adjust that. You can slide your arm up the side of the chair, across the back of the chair, any of that. So there are lots of options, but no matter where you arrive, notice how one hand can push, that's the anchoring bottom hand of that same side, and the other hand can find some aspect of the chair to pull, right? So we try to find these actions in most twists, how the arms participate in this push-pull relationship. And then that same transition, we're going to lift that arm, turn and look up, reach up actively, and then return. Very nice. We'll do all of that on the other side, but in between, we're going to take our leg to this chair. And remember, if you don't have a chair, the leg can be to the side. And if you do have a chair, I'm going to encourage that you consider parking your leg any amount in this external rotation. Great. We're going to use our strap, and I'm going to take this strap and hook it to my foot. So whether that foot is at the floor or in the seat of the chair, take your time getting there. So we're going to continue to work on folds and bends and twists. So at first, if my right leg is in the chair, my right arm is going to reach out, same side arm, and I'm going to use that for a side bend where I get to turn away from my leg. So it doesn't matter how far you turn or how far you reach down with that hand at the strap. Some of you may find that you want to put a loop on your foot instead to minimize the grip. All of those great options. And then turn your head and look up. And then perhaps bend in the elbow and come deeper into the twist and the side bend. Some of you will find that you can easily access catching your foot, in which case you can ignore your strap and just do that. Hold on to your foot. But whenever you're ready, the other arm can also travel overhead. And the idea is that we are continuing to work on expansion of that side of the body. Turn your head and look up and underneath the armpit. And then turn your head and look down. And as you do, bring that arm around and down. Catch hold of the strap on either side or your foot, those of you who can, do that comfortably. And square your shoulders with that foot. And then extend the spine, meaning make this a hip hinge rather than a rounding of the back best you can. We're going to keep backing off to do more. We're going to make sure that we have a micro bend of the knee and that we take our elbows somewhat wide, and that changes how the shoulders become involved and what turns on, right? The strengthening pattern for the upper back. As you inhale, drop the elbows and broaden the collarbones and move the sternum forward. There's more of a small back bend in your spine. And then as you continue the inhale, come all the way upright, all the way upright. And so to do an opposing twist is a nice counterbalancing. So if your right leg is in the chair, I want you now to stay in this upright position and hold on with the hand that is opposite that foot, right? So you'd hold on with your left hand, and you can take that free arm behind you. You can catch the back of the chair. You can push into the seat of the chair. You can hold the lip of the seat of the chair and pull up, all of those possibilities. But the idea is to notice that this is a strengthening twist. You can push into the foot at the floor, draw with the arm and elbow holding the strap, sit at your tallest spine, and decide where you are gazing. You can keep your head square with your shoulders. That's a nice neutral position for the neck. Or you can continue turning your head in that direction you are turning. Let's stay one more breath. This is a strengthening twist. And then as you inhale, slowly make your way back. And as you exhale, take your time and step down. Bring that back to center. Put both feet in the strap. Keep a light bend of the knees. Tug lightly. And toward the end of the hour, we're going to do this with both feet in the chair, in that second chair. So notice what it feels like now, how the middle of your back is receiving and doing the work, and how it makes you feel strong and ready. Wonderful. All of that on the other side. A sneaky way to get to all of that on the other side is to simply slide into the second chair. So I could simply slide into the second chair, and then I have the other one set at that same 45-degree angle for whenever we are ready. All right? But we're starting with arm work first. We're starting with arm work first. And so while you made that transition, I still want to stay in a position to be able to see everyone. So here we go. We're going to take a deep breath. And as we exhale, the arm closest to the chair is going to make its way to the chair. And we can add a little bit more value for the expansion of this side by reaching the free arm overhead. Just notice how both legs are on, both arms are on. As you exhale, come into this rotation and just look down. As you inhale, put a little bit more action into all of those angles. And as you exhale, that top arm comes to the seat of the chair. And so here you'll be able to work a little bit more with that arm that came across. Do we want to slide it over any amount? Can we aim to catch the side of the chair, adjust our proximity if we like that, and slide all the way up to the top? Any of those possibilities. But no matter what, you will find one hand pushes and the other hand pulls, both sitting bones anchored in the seat of the chair. Just breathe and notice where your breath goes. It goes into the back of your rib cage. We're breathing into the lateral and the posterior lobes of the lungs, opening up space, staying long through the neck, all those good things. As you inhale, lift that arm, turn and look up, and then reach well up. Beautiful. And relax. We're going to do that again. We work twice on that on the other side, and so let's do that here again. I'm going to slide my hand in the seat of the chair and then just simply come on over. It might seem more accessible. It might come with ease this time. Turn your head and look underneath the armpit and back behind. And then exhale and turn your head to look into the seat of the chair and begin to come across. Decide whether you're using the seat of the chair or whether you're using the side and the back of the chair, but find a slightly different place to keep building, not just range and strength through range, but just awareness. Keeping the neck neutral, awareness of breath, strong legs. And then that same idea of return. I want to lift the arm, turn and look up, and then reach up in the return, trying to hold on to all this great work. Yeah, wonderful. All right. Same ideas, the leg to the side. It can go here to the floor or into the seat of the chair. And regardless, we are going to hold that foot. Nice. So remember, it is always possible to create a small loop and to use this smaller set of holding patterns in the grasp of the strap. So here we go. So at first, I want to turn away from that long leg and notice this inner thigh stretch. And if you don't have a great inner thigh stretch, you can take the leg more to the side. You can take the other knee further out to the side. These are wonderful ways to add a little bit more release. So now we're going to bend in the elbow and turn away from that long leg. Right? And perhaps it is that you can come into a deeper side bend. Some of you will find that you can access catching, hold your foot, any of that. And we can continue to add on, taking that outside arm around and up. Whether you turn the palm up or turn it palm down and come further over, all good. But looking underneath the armpit and back behind. Wonderful. When you're ready to turn your head and look down, exhale, bring that top arm around and down, catch, hold the strap, come into extension of the spine. That means now we are in a hip hinge. This is not rounding of the back, and we're going to draw the elbows wide. Yep. So the heart leads, the front spine lengthens, all those cues that we hear in Iyengar yoga that help us with action within alignment. When you're ready for change, drop the elbows, inhale, spread the collarbones, keep looking ahead, notice the difference. And then with the continued inhale, come upright, continue to hold on, very nice. And we're just giving time in each place for whatever can gain the strength from the patterns, from the engagement. So now the hand opposite that long leg is going to catch, hold the strap. And as we continue to sit upright, tall spine, the free arm has many choices. You can catch the back of the chair. You can push or pull into the seat of the chair, keeping the neck neutral or even turning to look back behind, any or all of that. It's wonderful to note strengthening twists. And it's also wise not to go as far as you absolutely can, especially if something is new. Right? As you inhale, slowly return. And as you exhale, sliding the leg out of the chair and back to center, to this place of symmetry, we're going to park both feet in the strap. Walk the hands down. Keep a light bend of the knees and of the elbows as we sit nice and tall. And what's rather interesting about this pose, this is Dandasana. It is staff pose. We are sitting upright, legs are long. It becomes Paschimottanasana, where we fold. And the idea over time is to just deepen that fold. But we can tell that this acts on hamstrings and lower back. And again, that cue to not always feel as if we're aiming to go as far as we absolutely can, but to build time instead, to think about engagement, strong legs, long spine, and then inhale and come on back. All right, wonderful. We're moving on. So as we remove the strap, we're going to work our way to standing. And I'm going to park my strap beside me. And I'm also going to adjust the chair. So my chair is going to turn to one side. And I'm going to place it somewhere in the middle of my mat. Okay. And whether you want to use the chair as you transition, we're going to slowly use that powerful pose coming out of the chair and then slowly stand. Wonderful. And we'll keep working on that pose. If you have a second chair, come and place it exactly on the other side. Mhm. So I have two chairs, one on either side. I want to make sure that two legs of the chair are on the mat for each of these chairs. And I'm going to start by stepping slightly back and noting that I can push forward. I can push down and forward. And so from this position, one leg forward, the other leg back. I'll simply say front leg, back leg. But I want to be in such a position that I'm upright. So as I'm upright, I'm pushing into both chairs. I'm not having to lean to get there. And we're going to practice adding some light strengthening to what's happening in the calf and ankle back behind. So here, using two chairs, we have not only a place of stability, but a chance to add some load. While I push down and forward, I don't have to grip the chair. I can lift the back heel and turn all the toes forward. And then I can turn that foot out and anchor it down. So when I'm in this position and I'm not walking the tightrope, this is the alignment typically for warrior one. As soon as I lift the back heel and turn all the toes forward, the name changes. Most often it's called a high lunge. And we're going to add to this. So take your time, anchor that foot, and everybody pretty much gets to that turnout that is unique to them. The amount of turnout in that back foot, for the most part, is dictated by the tightness of the hip or the mobility of the hip. And so we're working on that. Lift the back heel, turn all the toes forward. Notice the push. Yep. And then when you're ready, we're going to drop the back heel and lift the back heel. We're not necessarily making it to the floor, but we're adding some strength work through that range. And the strength work comes by pushing into the hands, not just by moving through the ankle joint. All right? So somewhere in that range, I want you to stay. Whether you want to stay higher or lower is up to you. But if you will, take the arm that belongs to the back leg and reach it up. Exactly. And while you have all 10 toes pointing forward, we're just going to add a little bit more. We're going to add bending in the back knee, straightening the back leg. Let's try that two more times. Bending in the back knee, straightening the back leg. This is a little bit of work, especially since the front hand is pushing. Nice. Before we give this away, as you park your hands down, as you slide forward just a little bit, I'd like for you to use your hands and pull back. And here we get to stay long through the torso. We're loading the front leg, especially the hip. We're just building time, building the strength work here. And we're getting ready in the long run to return and do warrior three. Take your time and come on up. Step the back leg to the front leg. Take your time and switch. And as you make your adjustment in this warrior one setup, I want you to think about that we're not walking the tightrope, that you are in an upright position for the most part, and that your hands get to push, that you have a comfortable stance. What is the length of your stance? So we didn't address that, but over time we have small preparations that really give us a chance to bring awareness to how do we want to build that. What we're doing now is lending to it. So now, lifting the back heel, turning all the toes forward, and then turning that foot back out as we anchor. Again, everybody gets to their own place, the amount of turnout unique to you. Lift the back heel, turn all the toes forward, make the movement slow and controlled. We make a lot of transitions when we move around off our mat, coming downstairs, going to visit people, getting out in the world, and we want to make sure that we can handle all these transitions. Now that we've arrived, all 10 toes pointing forward, we're going to lower and lift the back heel. And as you do, both hands are pushing. Exactly. And every time you come and go, you will feel that it's not just about what's happening in the ankle, how the hip flexors are elongating and also bracing, participating in this movement. And so we're affecting strength through range. When you're ready for change, somewhere in that range, doesn't matter how high or how low, the arm that belongs to the back leg is reaching up. And I'm encouraging us all to make that reach active. And then when you're ready, make note that the hand at the chair is pushing, actively pushing, and that we're going to bend and straighten in the back knee any amount, any amount. So by now you should notice that back leg is fatiguing, calf and ankle, maybe the sole of the foot, all good. Take your time as long as there's no strain. Park both hands here, slide the arms forward, come into this hip hinge, come to the edge, the corner, and pull back. And just notice the elongation of the spine, how for the most part you kept pelvis square with the direction you're facing. All good things. And as you inhale, slide your hands to a position that suits you. Step the back leg to the front leg. Step forward so that your hands get to press down and back. And you're giving yourself the chance to really lengthen the front spine, have a little bit of the opposing action. There's a little bit of extension, this mini back bend, and we can look up. If we root the inner heels and the big toe mounds and lift the other 8 toes, then we get to strengthen. What do our feet do in a lot of standing poses? Can we lift the arches of the feet and lift the kneecaps? Yeah? Nice. Keep this place where your hands press back and you feel the expansion of the front of the chest. And instead now, slide your hands back. And as you do, any amount back, hold the corners perhaps, and pull forward. And as you pull forward, you're going to add a little bit more value to what your core is doing to help you hold this position. And you've expanded across your chest a little bit more. Very nice. Can we lift the toes and spread them wide? Can we keep lifting the kneecaps? Lengthen the tailbone down, draw the chin slightly in, invite those collarbones to smile. Yep. One more breath. And then release. We're going to come back to this. We're going to talk about some shoulder engagement in a very specific way. But for now, I want you to step back so that you're somewhere in the middle, somewhere in the middle. Right? So now we're going to step one leg forward and the other one back. It doesn't matter which one is forward. We're going to do both sides. But as you step one leg forward and the other one back, can we lengthen the stance? Can you make it so that front foot wiggles a little bit further forward and the back foot a little further back? We are not walking the tightrope. And this is a preparation for a revolved triangle. We're going to start by turning. So I am with my right leg in front and I'm turning to the right. I know on the screen it looks like it's my left leg in front. And what I want you to decide for yourself as you turn in the direction of that front leg is this too much of a twist? So if it's too much of a twist, the idea is to step back and then the rotation is less involved. And if this is not enough of a twist for you, then come further forward and you're having to turn a little further to get there, right? So similar to what happened in our warm-up, we noted that in a twist, one hand pushes and the other one pulls, and you can do that here. But while you're here, we're going to connect this revolved triangle preparation to our warrior one. So we're going to bend in the front knee and straighten the front leg. And every time we do that, if we're staying upright, the the hip of that back leg, those hip flexors open. The calf tells you about it. It's really stretching and anchoring. And I want you to push into both feet. Looking good, everybody. Let's try that one more time. And with this next repetition, keeping both legs straight, drawing the kneecaps up, we're going to follow it by folding halfway. And if halfway is too much, fold a little bit and then think, which leg is in front? I'm going to turn my head in that direction. And which arm came across the midline? Perhaps it can slide down the side of the chair. And then I can turn the upper rib cage a little bit more. And we're going to stay here for another breath before we do the same thing. We're going to bend in the front knee and straighten the front leg. So we went from a preparation for revolved triangle to a preparation for revolved side angle pose. All these sneaky ways to gain the benefits of all these beautiful shapes and poses. Two more. And what's really wonderful about using these chairs is that everybody gets to their own place. Take your time as you straighten the front leg, come very slowly unfolding and then unwinding. And we're going to do a little bit of opposing work before we repeat all of this on the other side. So I want to turn away from that side. I want to walk the tightrope. Then all of a sudden, I'm using my other chair. So right now I have the setup for triangle pose. Again, I'm walking the tightrope, and perhaps here I can walk my feet a little bit wider. Perhaps the back foot can wiggle back or the front foot can wiggle forward, right? Stay within your means. And the back foot is slightly turned in and the front foot is completely turned out best you can. And this is just a beautiful pose. The front arm can reach over that front leg, and the idea is to lengthen in this side fold and then inhale and come upright. We're going to try it again. I'm going to lengthen in this side fold and then inhale and come upright. Let's try that one more time. It's just beautiful triangle pose. And while we're here, we're going to bend in that front knee. Perfect. We're going to stay here and turn the head and look somewhat up. And then we're going to turn the head and look somewhat down. And as we look down, the arm in front is going to rest against the inside of the leg, and we're going to press and resist so that all of a sudden the strengthening pattern of the inner thigh shows itself. And again, we're going to turn the head and look up. And we're going to turn the head and look down. And we're going to do the opposite. The arm in front is going to the outside of the leg. And the idea is to press into the leg. Yep, resist. And so we have the opposing action, right? The glutes turn on. One last time, please. Turn your head and look up. Turn your head and look down. Excellent. Take that front arm and reach center. Inhale, come upright. We're just working in the reverse. And as you rest your hands both at the chair, begin to walk your feet in, toes and heels, pushing into the floor. Yep, looking good, everybody. And we'll do all of that on the other side because we feel a little lopsided now. So here we go. I'm going to start with facing the direction of my mat. I'm right in the middle of my chairs. And now the other leg is going to step forward. And as we take time to adjust front leg further forward, back leg further back, I want to make sure that I am not walking the tightrope. Yep. And that we come into a little bit of rotation. So remember, if this twist, turning in the direction of the front leg, is too easy, then you want to step a little bit further forward and the twist is greater, and vice versa. If it's too much, then step somewhat back. All right, so while you're here and one hand pushes and the other one pulls, the legs are strong, firm to the floor, bend in the front knee and straighten the front leg. Keep the arm work constant, keep the legs pushing. Yeah, so it's not just resting on your legs, but bearing into the floor. All these ways to add a little bit of load and to the strengthening aspect. We'll do 2 more here. And with this next repetition, we're going to keep that front leg straight. Now, with the front leg straight, we're going to come and fold. We're still holding on to that chair. There's still a little bit of a twist going on. And I'm encouraging you to turn your head. If your left leg is in front, turn to the left. If the right leg is in front, turn your head to the right. And then that arm that came across is going to slide down the side of the chair. And we have a little bit more range of adding this push-pull action. There's more rotation in the upper rib cage. And from here, in this hinge, in this somewhat of a fold, we're going to bend the front knee and straighten the front leg. And the back heel stays anchored to the floor. So it keeps its action of elongation and work. Let's do 2 more repetitions. Smooth and steady, moving with breath. As you straighten the front leg, the idea now is to slowly come unwinding and then come unfolding, looking good. So now we're going the other way. I'm going to begin to turn to the other side. And as I put both hands on the chair there, I want to adjust my feet and walk the tightrope. And then I want to adjust my feet into a wider stance. You might find that your body gives you permission to be a little bit wider with this one. All right. And so for here, we're going to come into a triangle preparation. I want to take that front arm ahead and come into this side fold and then return slowly upright. And as I come back into it, into this side fold of this repetition, we can shift the pelvis back. We can decide if we have this lengthening of the inner thigh that helps us understand that we have a nice challenge. Otherwise, feet need to be a little bit wider. And with this next repetition, stay there and bend in the front knee. Turn your head and look up, and turn your head and look down. That arm in front can come and rest inside that bent knee, and we can resist. And here, while we resist and strengthen the front of the hip, inner thigh, turn your head and look up, and turn your head and look down. And then take that arm and place it on the outside and press in. And again, same idea as we strengthen the back of the hip. Turn your head and look up, long neck, and turn your head and look down. Excellent. When you're ready for change, that arm in front reaches ahead, and we're working our way back in the reverse. We're coming upright, resting the hands at the chair, and straightening the front leg to walk our feet in, toes and heels, and toes and heels. So by now, as we return to center, we should feel longer in our torso and longer in our legs. Everybody find that sensation? And we're going to add a little bit of core work and back strengthening. We are returning to our Warrior 3 preparations, and then we'll work our way back to the chair. So I backed away from my chairs. And as I come into a little bit of a fold, I want to slide my hands ahead so that I count on the steadiness of the chair. And if we were to take one leg back behind and just prop it up, I always like to say we already have most all the actions of a warrior 3. I'm going to adjust my chair just a little bit. So I'm going to move my chairs this way so that you can see more readily what I am asking us to do. I'm going to take one leg and prop it up behind, and I can take that leg to lift a little or a lot, but the idea is small presses to engage the glutes and the hamstrings and the lower back. We're looking ahead. And before we give this away, we're going to draw that back knee in toward the chest and then straighten that leg back behind. But let's add a variation. Next time the knee comes to you, can we invite a little bit of cat pose into the body? Can you round and look down, bringing nose towards your knee? And as you take that leg away, can we make it so that we return to neutral spine? We're going to do that one more time. Here comes the knee, with or without cat pose. That's your choice. And as you inhale and return to neutral spine, all good. But I have a challenge for you. Can we park those toes, back foot at the floor? And I want you to think about which is the back foot. If it's your right foot, can you lift your left hand or make it a little bit lighter? And if you find that you can do more, can you lift the back leg so that you have this nice long line from your fingertips reaching away from that back heel, which is flexed? And then very slowly return. And as you unhinge, as you walk your feet toward the chair, give your back a break, walk forward. Think about what we did before. I want to continue to walk forward, and I want to press back into the sides of the chair and just strengthen the back body, having a little bit of opposing action, looking up. And then I want to slide my hands back and catch hold of those back corners and pull forward. And isn't it interesting how your body seems to welcome that? I hope it does. Mine certainly does. And I was trying to plan these recovery kinds of movements that continue the good work of the theme of this class, right? Creating length and strength in the torso. Take your time, and let's do all of that on the other side. I want to step back. And as I step back, well back between the chairs, I'm going to come into a little bit of a fold, this hip hinge. Spine is neutral, and I'm going to slide my arms a little bit further, and everybody gets to decide that proximity to the chair. The other leg back behind gets to prop up. The toes are pressing into the floor. And from time to time, we point out, there are certain goals, if you wish, or things that we're working toward, like keeping the pelvis square with the floor. And the strength work that we do here keeps bringing us toward that aim. Lifting the back leg, small presses back behind, doesn't have to be high. If it's too much, you can keep the back foot at the floor and simply press down. When you're ready for change, bring that knee towards your chest, keep looking somewhat ahead, and take the leg back. Take a break whenever you need. This time, as you bring the knee towards your chest, begin to round in your spine. Exhale, bring your nose towards your knee, and then inhale and send that leg away. And we'll try it one more time with or without that cat pose involved. And as you take that leg behind you and return to neutral spine, prop that foot at the floor, keep looking ahead, and just think, if the left leg is behind you, can you lift the right arm or make it lighter on the chair? It's an option. And then if you find that you can do more, can we lift that back leg? Can we lift it? Exactly. Very nice. Give it all a rest. Step the back foot to the front foot. As you walk your feet somewhat closer to the chair this time, we're going to come into this powerful pose. We're going to sit back. As we slide our arms forward, we're going to pull back, and that might help us to really send the sitting bones back. We can lift the toes and spread them wide. Isn't it interesting that this is also a neutralizing pose? While you're here, rest your toes. And while you continue to pull slightly back towards you, consider lifting high onto your toes. Yep. And then lowering your heels. Let's do that 2 more times. Lift high onto your toes and lower your heels. And we'll try it 1 more time. And then we'll very slowly slide the hands toward the back of the chair and come unfolding. Excellent work. All right. Our transition now to sitting, and we're going to try it this way. I'm going to leave one chair at the back end of my mat, and I'm going to place the other chair so that it faces me. And as you set that up, one chair faces forward, the other faces back, and you can come and sit. Exactly. At first, I want to use my blocks. And as I park my block in the seat of the chair, I'm going to take one knee to the side, and I'm going to take the other leg into the seat of the chair. Mhm. And what I want you to notice as you sit well back in the chair is if you feel comfortable lifting the long leg and placing it so that it is resting on the block. And what happens there after the way that we've warmed up our body is that we're asking for a little bit more of a hamstring stretch, right? Everybody can feel the back of the knee opens up. And at first, we're going to flex the foot. We're going to draw that foot back, and we're going to bear down into the block, draw the kneecaps up. And many of the folks in our chair yoga classes, they might be recovering from knee replacement or staving off a knee replacement, working on the strength that it takes to work between extension and flexion of the knee. So now relax and turn that foot somewhat out and go back to the idea of bearing down. And as you have the support of the back of the chair, notice the gluteal engagement and how much effort you want to give it. And I'm going to encourage you not to make it so intense, but instead to build a consistent effort and build time to hold the consistency. And then very slowly relax. Turn all the toes up again. And as you bear down, remember the kneecaps draw back. The back of the knee opens. You'll feel that. That is extension of the knee. You can turn the glutes on, sit nice and tall, especially while you are supported by the back of the chair. Take the arms wide. And you're welcome to stay here as you take the arms high and you're asking a little bit differently or more of your back. But if you can come away from the back of the chair, right, peel yourself away, there's a little bit of core work. And as you come into a little bit of a hip hinge, we're asking more of the lower back and the hamstrings, right? It affects the knee and it benefits the knee. And then inhale and come upright and very slowly release. So we use these in a lot of poses typically done from the floor. This one is called Janya Shirshasana and it translates to mean head to the knee. So now I'm taking that leg out. And I'm going to switch. I'm going to take that leg slightly to the side and plant it. And the other leg gets to take its turn. I can leave it in the seat of the chair, or I can add it to resting heel on the block. And again, if that doesn't feel good, please don't do it. It's okay. But regardless of what you choose, in this position, you're bearing down. And as you bear down, just notice what happens. You can draw the kneecap back, right? You can flex the foot. Notice how the side is different, not just in the knee, but through the hamstrings and the glutes and the back. And then very slowly let up on it. I'm reminding us all we're not holding our breath here. Turn the leg out and bear down. And as you do, notice how it also helps you sit taller, that you can turn the glutes on a little bit more than what shows up, right? A little bit more than what shows up, that you can hold that steady action, steady light action, and then very slowly let up on it. So we're going to do it a third time. We're going to turn all the toes up from that leg, and we're going to bear down one more time and take the arms wide. And we could stay here and just simply take the arms ahead, or we could peel ourselves away from the back of the chair and come into any amount of a hip hinge. Again, any or all of that. And we'll feel the residue of that or the effect of that in the lower back and the hamstrings, still drawing the kneecaps up. Right. And then inhale, come upright. Very nice, everyone. And slowly give it away. So now I want to set that leg down and remove the block. And I'm going to trade the block for this little ball. So I'm going to hold the ball between my heels and turn the feet out. So I'm parking the legs in the chair and I'm holding the ball between the heels and I'm squeezing. My back is supported by the back of the chair. And I want us to point and flex the whole time. The heels are pressing in and the feet are turned out. The inner thighs are on. The glutes are engaged. Our spine is extending and we're pointing and flexing. So there are days that we do this particular preparation and we don't use a second chair. And then it's different. Then these hip flexors have to turn on a little differently. And there is benefit to having variety. There just is. All right. Turn your feet so that they are parallel and move the ball so that it is between your big toes. And then make it so that your heels turn out. And what happens here is you have internal rotation. Okay. And so I want to point and flex. And it feels very different through the hip. Yes. And it feels very different through the ankles and through the back of the knees. Variety is only good for us. And so because you have the chair holding up your legs, you can decide to give it a little bit more intensity, still within your means. Let's do that 2 more times. And notice how it feels through the kneecap area, right? 1 more time. And release. So in the near future, we're going to build on this through our classes. Let's remove the ball. And one last time, let's trade out for the strap. So we're going to end here. Okay. So as I hook the strap to my feet, to the balls of the feet, I want to hold on and practice this very subtle, sneaky, strengthening core exercise. I want to keep a light bend of the knees and engage the glutes, still drawing the kneecaps up, and then pull myself away from the back of the chair and then set myself against the back of the chair. Let's do that 2 more times. I'm going to pull away from the back of the chair, just sitting upright and noticing staying on top of the sitting bones or the front of the sitting bones, and set yourself back. And we'll try that one last time. Away from the back of the chair. Perfect. While you're here and you're just giving yourself time to have that core engagement, the engagement of the back, I'm going to cross my straps one over the other. And then I'm going to wrap them around my ankles and cross them back behind. And then I'm going to bring them to the front, depends on how long your strap is. And I'm going to cross them again. And if you don't have a loop, you can hook the loop. And if you do have a loop, you can do something very simple and just tie them at the end of wherever, uh, how many ever times you are able to cross and lace from the front to the back. And then just stay here and just feel how this binding effect means that you've given away the work of the inner thigh, and you've also given away some of the bracing patterns of the lower back, and how your body feels a little bit quieter as you gave away those holding patterns. Turn your palms up, bring the index fingers to your thumbs, and drop your hands to your palms and just drop your gaze. And then keeping that index finger to the thumb tip, turn the palms down and let your hands just rest comfortably in your lap. Let your attention turn inward. And while you navigate your attention to your inner landscape from the crown of the head to your big toes, every time you inhale, follow that middle channel all the way up. And every time you exhale, follow the channel all the way down. And notice what you notice, the ease in this breath, the spaciousness in your upper body, the quiet of your mind, the release of any tension across your brow and your jaw, and the expansiveness of your ribcage. So whenever we have focused on length and strength, awareness of sensation in the midsection of the body, we feel longer and more open across our heart and across our rib cage. As you inhale, lift the arms and take this great breath. And as you exhale, bring your arms around as far as you can. Inhale and open and feel the support of the chair. Turn the palms back, lift your gaze. And then exhale, bring the arms around, other arm above. Inhale and open. And if you like, especially the way that we've ended, I would encourage you to continue to use it and build more time. Return the hands to your heart. And may this sensation of feeling open and ready, relaxed, all balanced that way last you well off the mat. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.